Shalom. This week's Torah portion begins the story of Joseph. Most are familiar with the story. Joseph, one of the two youngest sons of Jacob, is loved by his father more than all his other siblings. Jacob makes a coat of many colors for his beloved son. When his siblings saw how much their father loved Joseph, they hated him. They hated Joseph even more when he repeatedly informs them of the dreams he has that predicts that he will rule over them all one day. And you know the rest. One day, when the other brothers went to tend to their father's sheep, Jacob sends Joseph to check on them. He finds his brothers, but they grab him, they strip him of that coat, throw him into an empty pit to die. They decide at the last minute to sell Joseph as a slave to a wandering caravan who brings him to Egypt. Of course, this begins the story of the Jewish people in Egypt, and the rest is what we would say is history. It's a fantastic story. A lot of moral themes, plot development, character analysis. But the most important character in the story is a walk-on individual who is given no name by the text and just has two simple lines. That guy changes the course of events. When Joseph goes out to check on his brothers as his father requested, the Torah tells us that he can't find them at first, not in the place that they normally grazed, Shechem. And so he's about to turn around when a man comes up to him and asks Joseph, "Ma tevakesh?" What are you looking for? Joseph tells the man he's looking for his brothers who are feeding his father's flock. The man tells Joseph, "Nasu mizeh," I think they left here, "ki shamati omrim," because I thought I heard them say, "Nelcha dotaina," let us go to Dotan. And as a result, Joseph goes to Dotan. And yes, the rest is history. A lot of the rabbis like to see this mysterious man as the divine hand of God. God moving his chess pieces, if you will. This man was all part of God's plan to eventually get the children of Israel to Egypt, where they will one day be liberated and shown the power of God. Well, I can see what the rabbis are saying. For after all, what is the point of that short conversation that seems so unnecessary to advance the story unless that man is important, unless there's a divine element involved with this encounter? But you know, part of me believes this man was just that, some random guy who never realizes it, but forever changes the world. His brief encounter with Joseph led to the stories of our people, the stories we tell and retell every year. And all he did was stop to help a lost soul and give directions. Maybe I'm reaching, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But my thought for this week is, you never know the role you play in this world. What one act that you perform that could change the world forever, for the better. Change a life for the better. Maybe it's that helping hand, a smile, a thoughtful word that brings a broken soul to a shelter or to get help. That person gets back on his feet, reunites with his family, becomes the father he needs to be again, raises a daughter that saves countless lives one day as a doctor, all because of you. Or an encouraging word to a struggling student that changes the way that child views learning. She then excels. She becomes a writer. She moves a nation with her words, all because of you. My point is that maybe the rabbis are right. That nameless man was divinely chosen to be there at that moment. Maybe. But just maybe, so are we all. Every day of our lives, with every person we meet. We just don't know it. May we always think of ourselves as messengers of God that can, with one act, one word, one talk, change forever and for the better the course of our lives and the course of the lives of those we meet. Shabbat Shalom.